Welcome to this week's inspiring episode of Drive for Life. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Drive for Life. I'm your host, Brian Martindale, and tonight we're being joined by our friend Margaret and Elias Manolis from Long Island. Is that correct? Long Island, New
That
York.
is correct.
And we're here to talk about Elias and his battle with kidney disease and his need for a living kidney donor to come forward. So, Margaret, Elias, thank you both, first of all, for joining us. And
Thank you for
to
having me.
start off, obviously, stated while we're here to talk about what we can do to help find Elias a living kidney donor and how we can educate adults about the process and how rewarding and easy it can be. So let's start first of all of talking about how Elias's, kidney disease battle has gone. When did it start? Let's start with the history of that.
Okay, well, it started in utero. We saw at 39 weeks when I did a scan that he did have hydronephrosis of the kidneys. Once he was born, we did all the testing. Turns out he had something called UVJ obstruction on both
Okay.
sides of the kidneys,
Okay, I've heard of that.
which caused, yes, it's an obstruction where the ureter meets the bladder. And this causes the urine to reflux back into the kidneys.
Okay.
Um, and this is what caused his not so great kidneys at birth. He's had multiple procedures to alleviate the kidneys as well as the megaureters. Um, a lot of medications, a lot of infections. Now he's 13 years old and his kidneys are overworking for his growing body. And we are at that almost end stage and
Renal failure.
looking for a living donor. Yes, end stage renal failure. Yes.
And what age again did it start at, really?
Well, at birth.
Okay. Oh, at birth. That's right. I'm sorry. I guess I did lose track. I was thinking of specific dated at birth. So thank you. And then, so now have you reached the point of, or have you stayed off of dialysis?
We are not on dialysis yet. His GFR is 19%.
Okay.
So we're there, but we're not there. Hopefully, we don't get there and we can find a living donor
Right.
before that happens.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And that's our mission, is to help with that, because we know, and I'm sure you know, to find a living donor preemptive,
Hmm.
you have a better outcome, usually
Yeah,
better acceptance of a kidney.
correct.
The length of kidney function is longer,
Hmm.
and a living kidney obviously starts to function right away.
Correct.
I tell from the experience when I do these interviews of, I donated to a girl when she was 10
Hmm.
and she's 23 now. So
Wow.
we watched this, for going on 13 years.
God bless.
And thank you. And it's been a wonderful journey. And she is totally healthy. She's working on a doctorate degree in neuroscience.
Oh,
And
wow.
part of our organization, she'll be helping Elias's campaign to find a kidney donor.
Awesome.
But that's the understanding, that I have of she was able to get my kidney just before, about the same type of kidney
Mhm.
function I have, Elias. So,
Okay.
that prevented her from going in dialysis
Hmm.
and seeing the benefit of that, the great outcome. She's never had any sign of rejection. She lives a totally normal life at college. To
That's
look at her
awesome.
today, you would never know she had a kidney transplant at all,
Wow.
which is lovely. And yeah. So, I mean, that's what we hope for in every kid. And you're at the point where, you're getting a lot of great media. Now, this is something else to talk about. You're getting
Mhm.
kind of famous. I know you're in the
Yeah.
Green News here, in the last week? Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's great. So I know that had a lot of circulation. I saw it was
Yes.
getting comments.
Yes.
And do we have people that have formally registered already?
Um,
Yeah.
we have, I was speaking to a donor coordinator at the hospital, and she has mentioned there has been quite some feedback on Elias, which is a very positive thing. We're
Yeah.
so happy. Um, she said it's going to take some time to get the people tested and see if they are a match. That's a whole
Right.
other process,
Yes.
um, but we are hopeful.
And that's wonderful that you already have that going on where so many
Mhm.
people have something like that started, and
Yeah.
the positive media going. And yeah, a typical hospital can only test one, do the formal testing,
Yes.
after the first qualifications. When they go through the formal testing, it's 1 to 2 people at a time because it's a lot of
Yes.
cost. So on our end, we always try to help with, if a donor comes forward to us, they register on our website and then we transfer all their information directly to your hospital, but we
Mhm.
keep them engaged, because that's something, if you allies has a large response, let's say to our story or any story we get done, so you can sometimes, we've had a child, for example, with 100 responses. And,
Wow.
how do you keep a track of that many people? Because you know how people would lose interest.
Of
Sometimes
course.
have, the best of intentions, and then they're talked out of it by family members or financial situation or something after.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that our goal is, in our new campaigns in this 2026 drive to 7,000 living kidney donations is
Hmm.
our new system will help keep track of people that, if you have a large response, we'll keep them engaged and educated and kind of on deck.
Yeah.
So, you know, we always hope and pray that every donor comes through, that you already have people active, that these people are going to pass their test. But we're doing this today to make sure that Elias has somebody standing by and that
Hmm.
people know about the difference between direct donation and peer donation.
Correct.
So we're going to take a little break, and then after that, we'll talk about paired and living donation, and then we want to talk specifically about your hospital and how people would register to become Elias's donor.
Sounds good.
Right back, ladies and gentlemen, right after this commercial break.
Garber's exclusive low price guarantee. No one else has it. It's Garber's promise to you to enjoy better prices and better payments. Not on just a few random vehicles, but every new car, truck, and SUV at every Garber dealership. And Garber's variety and selection is unmatched in the Great Lakes Bay region. Enjoy a better buying experience with Garber's exclusive low price guarantee. You'll do better at Garber. Garber, we make it better for you.
Hi, we're the Soberowski family.
And what's your name?
Thea.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Mallory.
My dad named Keith and dad Manolis.
In December of 2023, Bear had a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole process, Kidneys for Kids was right there alongside us. They helped us make the important connections with the media to get their story out there and ultimately help us find his donor.
And at multiple times, they have helped us with financial assistance during a very difficult time where we were living between multiple cities and racing to go to different doctor's appointments to make sure that he could get his kidney and everything went off without a hitch.
Thank you, Kidneys for Kids. We don't know where we'd be without you.
We love you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Drive for Life. I'm again your host, Brian Martindale, and tonight again we're here with Margaret and Elias Manolis from Long Island, New York, and we're talking about Elias's need for a living kidney donor to come forward. So in our first segment, we've talked about everything that's going on with Elias, and let's talk now. First of all, let's get to if somebody is watching this tonight and wants to donate, what hospital is he at? First of all,
Okay, our hospital is Northwell, affiliated with Northwell. It's Cohen's Children's Hospital in New Hyde Park, New York.
right?
Hmm.
And I will put on as we after as we're talking, you'll see there'll be text flashing across here, and then the ending credits for everybody watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the email, and then also the phone number that you're giving me. We'll just let that play afterwards. So if we'll talk about a little bit about direct and paired donations. So in a direct donation, for example, what blood type is Elias?
Elias is B.
Okay. So if somebody was doing a direct donation through your hospital, they would do the registration, which we're giving them the information for,
Hmm.
and then they would do initial blood testing or cross matching.
Correct.
And then from there, they progress to matching or going through all the test on all their organs, I should say, to
Hmm.
make sure they're in complete health. So everybody understands when you go through to donate to Elias, you're going to know that not only you have two functioning kidneys, but your whole body is, in the upper echelon of all people in the world, health wise,
Hmm.
very honestly, you have to be one of the healthiest people around to be able to donate a kidney.
Correct.
So you know that afterwards you're going to live a normal life like I do. And that's one thing I preach. Like I said, I'm coming on 13 years. I'll be 64 in a few weeks, and I feel like I'm 30 years old. And I did my last 10 years in heavy construction with one kidney. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, you are in no way disabled. You live a very fulfilling, active life. I can
Yeah.
still run circles a lot of, I used to be proud to run circles, I say, around my 30-year-old apprentices on a daily basis. And I still like to do that with my grandkids. But just so people understand, the process is very painless. Your pain management is very well controlled when you donate a kidney. You're in the
Hmm.
hospital either 24 or 48 hours before you're home. Your recovery time is an average of between 2 weeks, as far as being able to do light work, up to 6 weeks if you're doing heavy work like construction, like I did, and you're fully recovered and living a normal life with the one kidney that's taken over function for two kidneys. And
Hmm.
Elias is now living a healthy life with your other kidney that you've shared with him.
Yep.
So that's a direct donation.
Yes.
Now, if somebody's watching this and say, "Well, I'm not his blood type. I can't help." That's not true because we know about paired donation. So if somebody sees this tonight and is motivated to help Elias, they can contact your hospital and they can offer to enter in their paired donation program. So they would test again, first of all, the cross match and see who they do match. And then they would
Hmm.
go through formal physicals and all testing of all every organ to make sure they're
Yep.
totally healthy. And then they would donate to somebody that they totally match. So their kidney is a perfect match to somebody. So they've saved that person's life that maybe they never meet. But in exchange, there's a voucher produced or a credit that puts Elias to the top of the list, and then Elias
Hmm.
immediately receives that next kidney that perfectly matches him that's available.
Right.
So, in a paired donation, two people's lives or more are being saved because a lot of times when we enter paired donation, it's called a chain donation because
Yep.
there's more than one person or one donor, in the chain. I know people that have been involved where there's been 6 or 8 people involved in the chains. So 3 to 4 people have received kidneys and 3 to 4 people have donated at the same time.
Hmm.
So that's a best case scenario.
That
So
would
we
be amazing.
let everybody know tonight that I know I talk a lot during this, but I get excited because we want everybody to know the possibilities and understand too that your adult sized kidney. Now, Elias, you're in what, 8th grade? If I remember right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're still a growing young man, but sometimes people seem to think or will think, okay, maybe I'm 6'4" and I'm 230 pounds, and they think their kidney's the size of a watermelon, oh my God, my organs, which is not true. Everybody's kidney is around 6 to 8 centimeters in size and length.
Yep.
So placed in the stomach pouch, it's commonplace, whether it's a pediatric patient, adolescent patient, or an adult,
Hmm.
and they go on to live a normal life. With Jessica, after 13 years, you'd never know she had a kidney transplant,
Yep.
unless she told you. The only difference she notices today is she drinks more water. She very little anti-rejection medication, And that's the thing about living donation, getting the closest match, because the closer the match, the less anti-rejection medication in the future as well,
Yep.
and chance for rejection.
Hmm.
Anything you'd like to say, Elias, about what do you miss right now? Is there anything that you miss? Do you get, I mean, tired easy? Anything you can't do because of your kidney disease?
Not really.
Well,
Not
I
really.
know what.
What?
I know you would like a nice steak, but you're not allowed to have
Oh, yeah.
steak, right?
That's what I didn't ask. So you do have some food restrictions then?
We do have some food restrictions.
Okay.
Our doctors has specified that we should limit animal protein.
Right. Okay.
So I know he misses that.
Yeah, because you bring that up. It was in the newspaper after our surgeries. I was wheeled over to see Jessica 48 hours later, and
Okay.
we were driven down together in this donated limousine. And Jess was, so frail and really white looking. You knew she had something wrong. But 48 hours later, I'm looking at her when they wheel me in, and I had to ask the doctors, and I wasn't joking. I'm like, "Is that Jessica?" I really thought it was a different child, and she was so rosy cheeked and she looked so healthy, just like she does today. She's tall as me, and just
It's amazing. It really is.
what happens when you receive a kidney. And
Yep.
what I was getting to was when she woke up, she did this interview. They said the first thing she said was, "Is Brian's kidney mine?" And then right afterwards, she said, "Can I have a baked potato?" Because that was on her food restrictions. Out of anything in me, she just longed for baked potatoes. So they brought her this huge baked potato and took pictures of her, made a thing out of it. But you saying that reminded me of that. So your big thing is, normal life would be just eating, going out to a restaurant, right? Hey, I can eat anything. I can eat a steak with my mom or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm hanging out with my friends, I don't have to worry about I can't eat this or whatever. Maybe I just drink a little more water, which is good for everybody anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. Is there anything you'd like to add as far as any comments, Margaret?
um, I just, your foundation is really amazing and what it does. And I'm just so happy I found you, um, and I just, it's amazing what you do. And it's hard to, navigate this alone. And I'm happy that I
Everybody,
have backup. Yeah.
like that old saying, I mean, it does take a village. It really does.
It
You need
does. It really
the
does.
doctors around you, all the coordinators, the doctors that were going to transplanting him, the aftercare, but then the
Yes.
person coming forward and the people that care for that person,
Yes.
give them aftercare assistance,
It's
whatever they
a whole
need.
process. Hmm.
It's a whole process, and that's just we're just here. We're the kind of the messengers. We're here to help in any way, and assistance and coordinating things and keeping track. So if a lot of people come forward, which is what we hope for, that we don't lose track of any one of them, and each one of them has a chance to give the gift of life.
Yep.
So I want to thank you both for joining us today. And we'll have
Yes.
all the information, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this episode. Please keep Elias and Margaret in your prayers and family, and come forward and give this boy a chance to go back to eating steak and doing everything a normal child should do when he's about to head into high school next year. So
Yep.
good luck with everything. I'm glad to have you today, and we'll be talking to you soon. And you have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of Drive for Life. We want to thank our major sponsors, the International Painters Union of Allied and Allied Trades, as well as the National Kidney Registry, all of our other sponsors, and thank you for joining us tonight. And please respond and share this tonight, and let's help Elias find that living kidney donor hero. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.